Okay, see if we can turn off the lens here. Oh, that's close. Anyone know how can I turn on?
It's this one.
Okay, you have to use it. Thank you. Thanks. Trying to change the resolution. Looks like it's not very clear here, right?
Take it to zoom at the top.
How do we do it?
At the top, the plus the minus sign. Over in the white arrows.
Zoom this area
No, to the left.
to the.
Where's the previous?
You could just pull it like on the very bottom right. If you pull it to the right, yeah, you maybe pull it to
Looks like a better. Okay. As you can see, those are the two sentences that I mentioned here. You can't learn swimming by just reading books, and practice makes perfect. That is why the major evaluation of this course semester will be 9 chapter projects. So basically, when the course going on, normally each week we're going to meet twice. The first time we meet here, we're going to talk about the skills that you will need to use to do the project. And then that's on Tuesday. That's on Monday. And then on Wednesday, you're going to use that time to work on your own projects. So you're going to work on 9 chapter project as well as a group project. Practice makes perfect. I can't guarantee that when you go out of this course, you will be #1 InDesign user on campus. But if you really work hard, you will be a master InDesign analyst. So that means if you go to any company, your boss said, "Hey, can you use InDesign to create something for our company?" You can say yes confidently, with high confidence. But of course, you need to invest some time into it. We can't do it like we just sit here and skills fall on ourselves. That will not ever happen, right? You need to practice. Here's the basic information about myself, the courses, and the meeting time, meeting place. On Tuesday, we're going to meet here. When I shoot some things here, I do prefer you guys can use the computers behind you. We have 17 computers here. Basically, each one of you can get a computer. If you can't, 2 of you can share a computer. So when I play stuff here, I would like you play it on the screen at the same time. Sometime when I'm playing here, create something, I would like you to also create these things on your computer, and at the end of the class meeting, email that project to me as an in-class quiz. We're going to have 10 quizzes. Each one will count for 10 points. So if you get it done, email it to me. That would be you completed 1 quiz at least. Okay. So that's Tuesday. Thursday, as I said, probably after 2 to 3 weeks, on Thursday it will be time for you to work on your weekly project. You can stay here in this room, use those computers. The thing is that those computers only have InDesign CS5. So you can also go to room 114. Are you familiar with room 114? Use the computers over there. Those computers has InDesign CS6. You can go over there. Actually, I prefer you go to over there. So that's on Thursday. Here is my office hours. You can go to my office hours, talk to me if you have any questions. Call me is my phone number. or email me. Don't email me today because I just got my email account today. It still doesn't work right now. I can't log into it. So if you email me tomorrow, maybe the email address will start to work. For email communication, if you send me an email, I may reply you within 48 hours. May not be sooner because I need time to read it and think about your questions. So expect my reply within 48 hours. If you don't get my reply within 48 hours, email me again or contact me again. Chances are your email may not go through, or it just slip from my mind in some situation. Normally, I will certainly get back to you within 48 hours. Course description. Basically, put it into one sentence. This course is trying to equip you with the fundamental skills of using InDesign. So when you graduate, no matter you're going to work in an advertising company, a PR company, a newsroom, or any other company as a publication specialist, you will be able to use InDesign to design brochure, newsletters. Many companies, they hire you guys as communication majors. They want you to publish newsletters for them, right? So you will be able to use InDesign to do those kind of things. Design logos, of course. You can also you need also to be able to use it to design logos. So basically, we try to get you to be familiar with the software InDesign, as well as fundamental designing principles. You will read a material about the principle of designing, talking about the 4 principles, such as repetition, proximity, alignment, and contrast. Basically, those 4 principles. We're going to talk about that during the middle of the semester. Questions? You okay? Jump in whenever you have a question, okay? Other things, required textbook. It will be this textbook again. You can get it from the bookstore. Required software. We do require you to get a copy of Adobe InDesign CS6. You can get it from 3 channels. You can go to those websites, purchase one at a discount price, or you can go to this website and download a trial version. That's for free for 1 month. So you can download it on your own computer, and after 1 month, the trial version will expire, and then you can pay about $20 per month to continue to reprint it. That's the second channel to get a copy. If you decided that you're going to finish all the projects on campus, you can use the computers over there or in room 114. In that case, you don't need to purchase or rent a copy. But for the online students, they do not have access to the computers here on campus. Clearly, they need to purchase the copy or rent a copy. Questions so far? You okay? You will need to have a large flash drive, minimally 1 G to store your projects. Because sometimes you can't finish your projects at one time, then you need to save the projects into that flash drive and take it back sometimes later, continue to work on the project. So a jump drive, a flash drive, is critical for you. Get a 1 G or 2 G or 8 G flash drive. That's quite necessary. Blackboard, you will need to be able to use Blackboard as required in all classes. We're going to use Blackboard as a main form of communication. So check Blackboard regularly and multiple times a week at least. as said, those are the evaluation methods of this class. We're going to have a syllabus test, which since I do not have access to Blackboard today, so I can't create it today. But I will probably get a chance to create it tomorrow or Wednesday. So by Sunday, you're supposed to finish this syllabus quiz. It's 10 points. And then we're going to have 3 take-home quizzes. Each of them clearly will have 50 points. Those 3 take-home quizzes basically covers the 4 lectures that has been created by a former instructor, former professor in this university. Some of you probably have heard about that. This desktop publishing course has 4 lectures. So basically what we're going to do is that we're going to post those lectures on Blackboard, and you go to read it and finish a take-home quiz on those 4 lectures. Questions on that? Those lectures basically are about the graphic designing, the history of graphic designing, and some fundamental principles of graphic designing. It should be very easy to read. So I'm going to let you guys to read it and finish the take-home quizzes. And then, as I said, we're going to have 9 chapter projects. In those chapter projects, you're going to practice all the skills: how to use the master page, how to set up tabs, tables in InDesign, how to use other interesting skills such as paste into, how to align objects, those fundamental skills in InDesign. So there will be 9 projects, and each project will have 30 points, so 270 points in total. We're also going to have a reflection paper which will have 50 points. And then, we are going to have 16 in-class quiz or project. As I said, Tuesday we're going to meet here. And as I'm playing InDesign here, you will also do what I'm doing here on your own computer. When it's done, just email it to me as an in-class project. And each in-class project will have 10 points. So we're going to have about 16 in-class projects. Sometimes they can be questions. And then we're going to, finally, we're going to have a group design projects. The class is going to divide it into several groups. Fundamentally, 4 or 5 of you will be in one group. Okay, so do you guys know each other right now? We'll give you a chance to talk to each other so that you can be familiar with each other, and then you can organize into several groups. Each group is going to find an organization here in Beaumont, or in the Triangle area, or in Houston area, or in Texas if you prefer, or in the whole US. If you know some organizations in New York or San Francisco, contact them. Or if you know some international organization, contact them. But preferably, I want you to find an organization in Beaumont, in the Triangle area, or in Houston area, and talk to this organization, saying, hey, we have a group. We want to work for you to create 3 things. We want to create a logo for you. We want to create a one-page ad. Newspaper can be a newspaper ad or a poster. We also want to create a 3-folder brochure for you. Do you need that? If they say no, we already have one, then find another organization. If the organization say yes, we really desperately want those 3 things, and we can't pay for it. You guys wanted to do it for us as a class project, that's great. That's the organization you want to work for. Okay? So find such an organization. At the beginning of this semester, I would like you to get a permission from the head of that organization, saying that we want this group to work for us, create those 3 things. We're going to support them. If they need any information from us, we're going to give this information to them. And if the project is great, we're going to use it. Okay, we want you to have a permission like that from the organization. the idea, the philosophy here is that anytime if you are working on a class project, it is a significant endeavor, right? You invest a lot of time into it. If it can be a real world project, if it can help some organization, I think it's really much more worthy of your effort, right? And this is also a chance for you to contact the organization in the real world, connect the class with the real world. In the past, I have some students who really created some logos, brochures for the organization, and they use it. And when you graduate, when you try to find a job, you can take those projects to the potential employer, saying, "We created this in the class," and they use it. That will make a much difference than it's merely a class project, right? Also, when you talk to the organization, try to create something for them, you will collect feedback from those organizations. You're really working for your organization. You will learn a lot from just doing a class project. So that's what we want. I didn't really put a lot of points here. Overall, the class, the group project will only have, if you count it, is 240 points. It's really not a lot. But as a matter of fact, I really think that's a very important project. I want you guys to use this opportunity to do some contribution to the organization. It can be any organization. It can be your student club. It can be your student organization, any department within the university, or the whole university if you can talk to the president. It can be as I said, in last semester, my students worked for the Chamber of Commerce of the Hayes area. So that's a non-profit organization, right? It can be a business, a small business, a startup, right? It can be your mother's little company. In the past, we do have students created things for her mother's insurance agent. Her mother is running an insurance agent, and that insurance agent doesn't have a logo, doesn't have a brochure. So the student and her group created these things for that insurance agent. What a wonderful thing to do, right? Her mother was really satisfied with that logo, that brochure. So that's what we want you to do as a group project. How do we create the group project? I will give a point to the group project overall, but that's not the grade everybody will get. Each individual member in the group will also have an individual coefficient, which is calculated from peer evaluation. And the fundamental thing here is that, my experiences is that when you have 4 to 5 students in one group, I do not assign leaders. I do not say you are the team leader. I do not do that. However, some students will emerge. He or she will contribute more to the group work. And he or she will try to motivate the group members. Sometimes there will always some members can't do his part of the job. He or she just can't finish it. Now, we do not want to give the same grades to those two types of group members. There are groups in which each member really contributes equally. So everyone get a very good peer evaluation. But there are also groups in which some group leaders always go extra miles. So they always have a very great peer evaluation. Some members never finish their own part of labor division. They end up getting not very good peer evaluations. So the individual coefficient will make a difference, sometimes a huge difference in the individual grades in the group project. Does that make sense to you? Any question on that? So you can see the peer evaluation is very important. That is why I said here, everyone needed to complete the peer evaluation. And missing the group peer evaluation will lower your own final grades on the project. So make sure you complete the peer evaluation. the project, the chapter project, as well as the group project must be in PDF format. We're going to talk about how you can generate a PDF format soon. But those must be in PDF format. They have to be turned in through 2 channels on Blackboard. As I said, I don't have access to Blackboard right now, but as soon as I got access, I will create links for you to submit your projects. And the second way to submit it is to submit it to a course blog. I always created a course blog for the courses, for students to do something. The reason that I created a course blog for you to use it is that I didn't ask you guys, I didn't get a chance to ask you guys, what are your majors? Business, communication, corporate communication. It's also PR, right?
Yeah.
Right, yes.
Corporate.
Corporate communication, PR,
Communications, advertising.
advertising,
Communication advertising.
advertisement,
Communications, journalism.
journalism, okay?
Journalism.
Yes. Huh?
Journalism.
Journalism,
Corporate communication.
corporate communication,
Journalism.
journalism, yeah.
PR.
PR, okay, corporate communication, right?
Yeah.
PR,
Corporate.
corporate journalism, okay. No matter your business or communication, but fundamentally journalism, advertising, and PR, you know, everything in communication area is talking about one word right now. What is that word? Digital, right? Digital. If you read the textbook, it always say digital, digital, digital. I just got a question from an old friend yesterday. He asked me, do you really think that newspaper is dying? I said, newspaper, as printed in the paper, yes, it is dying. Have you guys read a newspaper in the paper version yesterday or today? You did, okay. Any other? Most of you probably not. Because you can get a news feed, right? I read most of the news from here. Facebook, Twitter, and I also have apps for New York Times, CNN. CNN actually send me the push notes. So whenever there's a breaking news happen, it will send me an alert. I will just read it here. I don't need to really read it. Think about how much money has been spent in printing news on the paper, right? When you read one newspaper, that's probably half of a tree. Whenever you hold a newspaper in your hand, you think, oh, I'm holding half of the tree, right? Because it's made of the wood, the trees. Think about how much money you need to spend in delivering the newspaper to the subscribers. That's really a waste of money and time in this internet area. So yes, I would say newspaper printed in the paper version, it probably will be dying in 10 years at least, when you guys grow up. It's still over there because your grandpa, that generation, is still used to read the papers. They're not really used to look at the screens. Whenever they look at the screens, they feel uncomfortable. But that's not the thing for you guys, right? For you guys, you grew up with computers in school. You prefer to look at the screens rather than a paper, because you can click the videos, you can click the links, you can search it anytime you want, but you can't do that when you hold a paper. So digital is really important for journalism. It is really important for PR, for advertising. I once watched a video. One guy from an advertising agency said that when we try to hire some new guys, who we will hire? We will hire those guys who really understand the digital stuff. Why? The old tricks, we know it. We are very good at it. We don't need you to work on that. The thing that we do not really know is digital. And that's where you can play a role, right? Does that make sense to you? So digital. I do really want you guys to like to play the digital stuff, such as blogs, such as Facebook, such as Twitter. Know how to use it. Know how to use it for the benefits of your company, your organization. be an expert on that. If you join some professional organizations such as PRSA, such as AAF, such as CPG, which is SPG, right? Society of Professional Journalism, right? SPG. Everyone is talking about digital. So the purpose of creating a course blog is at least to familiarize yourself with how to use blog in this class. Later on, we may also open a Facebook channel or Twitter channel for the course, but currently we're just staying on blog. Okay, so here is the course blog. Here is the, you can see, those are the projects from the students in another institution who enrolled in this course. So sometimes if you want an example of the projects, you can click here. But what I'm going to do is that when I get access to a Blackboard, I will use your university email address to register, to invite you to this blog. And once you receive that invitation, you can just accept it and get it enrolled to this course blog. So that's the course blog part. How your project will be graded. Submitting on the course blog is mandatory. If someone forget to do it, there will be a 5-point deduction. It's better to remember that. How the project will be graded. Here are the 7 criteria or rubrics, if you want to call it. I will ask you. Sometimes the project, most of the time, the textbook will give you a template, and they will for you to work on the project. I will ask you to change the colors in the template. For instance, in the template, they use a red headline. You can use red in that case. You have to change it into blue or black or yellow, whatever you want. Okay. So you need to change the colors of the objects to make them different from the textbook. You also need to put your name on your work. And also, we will look at whether or not the project is completed or not. Sometimes the project can be time-consuming. Let me ask you one more question. Do you know that the Department of Education, the Federal Department of Education, requires each student to spend 2 hours for 1 hour in class? You guys know that? That means for each class, if you're taking a 3-hour class, you need to spend 6 hours outside of the classroom to prepare for this course, to work on for the assignments, right? That's required, mandated by the U.S. Department of Education. We do not really do that. I know you guys are busy. How many of you are working outside of the school? How many hours?
Like
30 hours? That's quite a lot. I do have some students. I had some students who worked 40 hours outside of school, right? So that's a lot of work, but they have to do it. So I do not really expect you to spend 6 hours outside of the class each week for this course. But however, 1 or 2 hours is reasonable. Do not expect that when you get out of this class, it's done. No, sometimes you can't have it done. Sometimes you need to use your own time to work on the projects. So there may be a chance in some week you can't really get the project done, and that will result in some deductions. So is the project completed? Is the same identifiable in the work? A designing project is the same as a speech. You guys have you taken the public speaking course? All of you, right? So you know that in a speech, if you do not know what you are speaking about, the audience clearly will not have any idea about what you're talking about. So you have to really talk about something. There's supposed to be a topic. A designing project is the same. If there's no theme in the designing project, it cannot really be a good project. So we're going to see if there's clearly a theme projected in the designing project. Do the colors work with each other and altogether make the reviewer's eyes comfortable? There are certain colors, never put them together. For instance, do not use sometimes you will see that sort in the textbook. Okay, I can show you the textbook. In the first chapter, it tells us red text with a black stroke always use with caution. See? Now look at it. Red text with a black stroke always use with caution. You see? Red text with black stroke always use with caution because it doesn't look beautiful. Okay? I would say never use this unless you have some significant reasons. Never use red text with black strokes. Same way, if you use red text with black text with red stroke, probably will also look not very good. So some colors do not go together, like the red and black. Now, when you choose the color of your project, you better look at it. Does it look beautiful? Different color has different meanings. We're going to talk about this later on. Orange, why McDonald's use orange to decorate its own restaurant? Because orange means energy. It means fresh. Now, why we use Red Cross here in the U.S.? But when Red Cross goes to Africa, they change it into Green Cross. If you go to Africa, any one of you, later on, if you have a chance to travel to Africa, you will never see a Red Cross because red means death in Africa. And you don't want, Red Cross don't want people to die, right? You want to save people's life. So color always has its meanings, cultural meanings, social meanings. We want to understand those meanings, and we want to make sure that we do not abuse those colors. So do the colors work with each other and altogether make the viewer's eyes comfortable? Do they speak for the theme? Sometimes you want to project a light theme, a joyful moment, but does the color really say that or not? Do the text, the sizes of the fonts fit your overall design and speak for the theme? When you actually design a project, you just plan several things. You plan the colors, you plan the typography, you plan the shapes of objects, right? You plan the layout. Those are the fundamental things that you play with. When you play with those 4 things, double check. Are those several stuffs are they really well planned? Do you really mean those things with those objects? So check with that. Do all the factors go along with each other and speak for the same together? And finally, I will look at whether or not there's innovations that you made to the project. Because most of the project, for most of the project, the textbook give you detailed instruction. What you need to do is that just follow the instructions step by step, and then the project will be done. So, but if you want, I really want you to have some innovation to put into that project. This is the 7th standard. Normally, as I said, each project will have 30 points. But do not expect to get a 30 points for each project. You will only get 30 points. You will rarely get 30 points. You will only get it when all the 7 standards are very well met. So generally speaking, you will not really get it. But if you can meet the first 6 standards, at least you will get an A grade. An A grade probably means 27, right? Like 90% of 30 points, that is 27. So most of the time, if you can meet the first 6 standards, you will get an A. But if there's any one standard that has not been met, you will get there may be some deductions, right? There will be 3 to 5 points deduction if one standard has not been met. And the evaluation here, this is the makeup work, okay? I just copied it from other syllabuses. I guess it's the same for every course. Is that right? No little work will be accepted. Is that the same for every course?
It depends teacher to teacher. I mean, some teachers will make an exception, but it's not often.
Okay. I was a journalist. I work in newsroom. I do understand the significance of deadlines. Deadlines means once you pass it, your copy will be back. Nobody is going to read for it. In advertising agencies, yeah, that's the same case. If the clients tell you, I want a copy by the end of tomorrow, and you give them the copy the day after tomorrow, they will not wait for it. So let's stick with this policy at this moment. If there's really significant reasons for you to make an extension, let me know. We can talk. Will that be okay? So let's stick with this policy right now. And here are the tentative schedules. We're going to talk about the syllabus today, and then we're going to briefly talk about InDesign workspace. Then Thursday we're going to work on the Lamar Lecture 1. As I said, Lamar Lecture 1 basically is a lecture. We have 4 lectures created by Professor Yeowood. Some of you probably have heard about him. And then it was updated by Professor Katz. So we're going to read that, work on that lecture 1 Thursday, and then you can do the take-home quiz. And then look at the schedule here. Next week we're going to exclusively work on the lectures, and then by the third week we're going to finish the lectures, really get into this book. This book really have 11 chapter projects, but we're not going to work on the first project and the second project because we're going to work on the Lamar lectures. So we have 9 projects left. Let me see other things. You can read all the other stuffs here. The accessibility statement, copyright policy, integrity statement, and the communication requirement. Those are pretty much the same for every course. Use how to use Blackboard. Writing Center. We do not really write a lot in this course, but as I said, keep thinking about it. At the end of the semester, you're going to write a reflection paper on basically what skills you learned from this course will be useful in your project as well as in your future career. When you take this course, always think about what things I learned from this course will be beneficial for me in my future career. Always think about that. Put yourself in the real world, not just in a class. And student tutoring and retention services, instructional associates, emergency procedures. This is very important, so read it. But again, it's the same for every syllabus. Finally, as I said, when I get access to Blackboard, I will put this syllabus on Blackboard. What you need to do is that you need to print out the last page, sign here, saying that you read this syllabus and I agree with it. The enrollment itself is a confirmation of your willingness to follow the rules of this class. I guess this is also standard for every class, right? Because I was told to do so. That's one thing. The other thing is that I'm going to post this academic integrity policy agreement on Blackboard also, and you need to print it out and sign somewhere. Yes, here, send this, sign here, say, by signature below, I affirm that you can just print it out this page and send it. So you need to send two things and turn it in on class meeting Thursday.
Do you mean Wednesday?
Oh, Wednesday, yes. Wednesday. I'm a little bit confused. Wednesday. Okay. Any questions about the syllabus and the those agreements? You okay? Okay. Now we this class meet from 1:50 to 3:10. Is that right? I think it's to 3:10. So we still have a little bit of time left to talk about in design. Okay, now as I said, I would like you to get back to the computers over there. When I play here, you can play on your computer. First, let's find the InDesign on the computer. Sometimes there's a shortcut on the desktop. Okay. Do you know how to log in?
Which one do we log in as?
Studio log, right? I'm not sure. Other, right? Yeah, you can use other. You certainly needed your Lamar ID and password to log in. Do you know your Lamar ID?
It's not taking my ID.
It's the Blackboard name, like your first, the J.R. Mullins is mine, so it's, you know, the name you used to log in, not the L number.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What's your LEA?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, not the L number.
One
The L
used for the
number is-
library, the one you use for Blackboards.
Right, yes. Your alias. Okay. Oh, this is the long. Can you get into this hand?
Oh, yeah, I think so, we should.
Now, for the right now, we have enough computer. So we get into which one we want.
Once you're logged in, where do you go?
Once you log in, you go to Go. See where's the Go. Click Go. And on top is menu. application. So you go to Go Applications, and you will see all the software installed in the computer. Find Adobe InDesign. We only have InDesign CS5 here. And then don't click the uninstall. Okay, be cautious about clicking that one. Simply click Adobe InDesign CS5. And that's how you can find Adobe InDesign. Did you find the InDesign? I see yours is loading. Oh yeah, it's launching. Do you remember Blackboard username?
Yeah, I'm trying. I gotta redo my change the password.
Yeah, this is it's launching, right? It's launching. Yes. Okay, now see mine is already open right now. So if you look at here on the screen, you will see this is the workspace of InDesign. We have, this is the menu, this is the application panel, application bar, this is the control panel, the toolbox, and here, those are the panels. And when you do not have a document open, it will look like this. With InDesign, you can open a new document by click here. You can open a new book. And many of the publishing houses, they actually design books with InDesign. InDesign is quite powerful in designing newspapers, in designing magazines, newsletters, brochures, advertisement. So it's a very powerful software. It's a standard software in this industry. You can also create a library. We're going to talk about how to create a library later. But for now, click Document. Now, when you click a document, this is the dialog box. You can make some choices here. Document preset, there's nothing here, but intent. If you want to create a something for paper version, you choose print here. But if you want to create something to put on website, you choose web. Why there's such a difference? Simply because the print version and the web version, they use different color systems. Print version use CMYK color system. The internet use RGB color system. We're going to talk about this later on. But remember, if you want to create something to be printed out, you choose print, right? But if you want to create something to put on internet, you choose web. Now let's choose print. Most of the time we create stuff to print. Number of pages. If it's supposed to create is one page, right? If it is a brochure, it can be also one page. Sometimes you may need 2 to 3 pages. So let's keep one here. Uncheck the facing page. We do not need this. We're going to talk about what facing page means later on. But now you can uncheck it. Page size, you know the differences, right? Lego are larger, half of the paper, I guess. And then tabloid is a quarter of the paper. And then you have letter half, and legal half. And those are the European standards, A5, A4, A3, B5. You can also created a business card or a CD cover, and those are the customers and size for you. Normally, we're going to simply create a letter size. Here are the standard width and height of the letter size. You can choose the orientation. If it's a landscape, then the design project will look like this, right? If it's a portrait, it will look like this. So you can choose whatever you want. And this is a portrait, this is a landscape. I'm going to leave it as a portrait here. Columns. This is one column because there's no gutter between the words here. This is one column. But here, clearly it's 3 columns, right? So you can choose how many columns you want. Normally, for letter size paper, we want to have 2 columns. Because one column, like this, people will feel tired. This, you can think of this as 2 columns, because this is a column, right? And so if it's one column goes from here to here, readers will normally feel tired reading such a long line. So normally, for letter size paper, we're going to create 2 columns. So let's put 2 columns here. Gutter, gutter is the space between the 2 columns. You can choose whatever value they have here. Margins, normally, for writing paper, when you write a paper, your professor will ask you to put a 1-inch margin all around. Now here is 3p, that's half an inch. We're going to talk about those units later on. But 6p, 6p car is half an inch. So here is 6p car is 1 inch actually. So here 3p cars, that's half an inch. Let's briefly talk about this thing, this icon here. Pay attention to this icon, okay? Look at this icon, the link icon here. Anyone of you know what this icon, what's this icon for?
It makes all the settings the same.
And make all the cells same. So right now, okay, look at it here. When this icon, the link icon is highlighted, if you change here to 1 inch, select here, put 1 inch, click it, other places, you will see all the 4 cells here, the value has been changed to 1 inch. So this link is highlighted, it will make all the cells equal to each other. If you say, I want to have 1 inch on the top, but half inch on the bottom, the first thing you need to do is click this link icon and unhighlight it. And now if you put 1 inch here and you want to change those to half an inch, see, you can do it, right? So when this link icon is unhighlighted, you can change the size, the margins into different sizes. But once you link this again, it will be changing into the same size. And once you set up the document, you can simply hit OK. This is how the document will look like. Now, we said that the workspace basically have several areas. The major areas enclosed here this is the menu, the application bar, the control panel, the toolbox, and the panels. Let's look at the application bar. No, this is the menu. Sorry, this is the menu. Let's look at the menu. Menu basically contains everything about InDesign. So anything included in design, you can find it from the menu process. you can see here are all the instructions that you can use to work on the file. You can save as, export. This export instruction is very important for you, as when you finish your project, you need to use this export instruction to export it as a PDF document. So if you click the export, it will turn your project into a PDF document. If you do not use export, if you simply use save, what format will your project be? It will be a INDD document. That's an InDesign document. That's not a PDF. An InDesign document can only be opened by InDesign. And what's weird is that if you create your document in InDesign CS6, it cannot be opened in InDesign CS5. It cannot. So don't save your project. Once it's finished, don't save your project as an InDesign document. Instead, save it as a PDF document to turn it in. Okay? How do you save it into a PDF document? You export it. Export. And you can also print it, edit, select it, paste, copy, layout. The layout are the instructions that you can use to work on the layout of the document. Here you can choose the tabs, work on the text. And then here are the instructions that you can use to work on the objects. What are the objects? Rectangles, ovals, pictures, those are objects. Those are not text. All the instructions that you can use to work on the tables can be found here. Views, window. Window contains most of the useful shortcut keys, the instructions of the InDesign tools. So many times you will just use the panels. You will use the page, the layers, the links, stroke, color, swatches. You will use the stuff here. Those are the panels. But if you want to use something and you can't find it from here, you will need to go to a window. It must be here. Like, okay, like the page panel. This is my page panel. I take it off. Here's my page panel, layer panel, link panel, right? Somehow I close it. I want to use my page panel right now, but it's not here. What do? I go to window, find it here. See, every panel listed here is very useful for you. But if you can't find it here, you simply go to window. It must be here. And that's the panel. You can move the panel around. You can also put it back to here. If you click here, the panel will be give you more information. And if you click this double arrow again, it will look like this. This is a brief format of the panel. Here are the tools. All the tools you can use to work on the text, to work on the objects. We have 4 types of tools. This is the selection tool. This is the direct selection tool. I know some of you have experience with InDesign. What is the difference between a selection tool and a direct selection tool? Any idea?
Maybe a selection tool gets like the whole thing, and then maybe a direct selection you can pick just certain components.
Right. Exactly, that's the case. Like the selection tool, you can use it to select the whole object, not part of it. So when you select the whole object, you can rescale it, you can move it, but you can't change the shape, right? If it's a rectangular, it's always a rectangle. But with direct selection tool, you can select a part of it. You can select a corner of a rectangle, drag it, make it not really a rectangle. change the shape of that. For example, let's show it here. Now here, this is the rectangle tool. Because there is a triangle here, you know that when you click the triangle, you will find that the rectangle tool actually has 3 tools. You can use it to create a rectangle, a ellipse, a polygon. So let's select the rectangle tool. Now we click a rectangle here. If you select it with the selection tool, you can rescale it like this. You can move it. You can rescale the shape like this. But you can't change the shape. It's always a square or a rectangle, right? However, if you switch to direct selection tool, let's select this corner. Okay, now see all the other corners are hollow, which means they are not selected, but only this corner is filled, which means only this corner is selected. Now we can change the shape. And that's the difference. Direct selection tool allows you to select part of an object. Now we have the text tool, pen tool, line tool. Those are the second group. We also have scissor tool and gradient tool and navigation tools. The toolbar, if you click the double arrow here, you can make it 2 columns. And if you click this one, you can also make it 1 column. And this is the application bar. You can find the screen model, the arrange document, all the other fundamental things here. This is the control panel. Most of the shortcut keys, the instructions, you can also find it from the control panel. A brief last note. InDesign has 3 control panels. Okay, so now when you look at here, this control panel give you X, Y, W, H, give you a link here, give you this stuff. This is the control panel for you to work on objects. That's one of the control panels. We have 3. Now, when you have text in the document, okay, now I have text in the document. When you have text in the document, notice that the object control panel is gone, right? Did you notice that? Okay, see it again. This is the object control panel. You have a square like this. Sometimes there's a line here. You have those stuff here. And then when you switch to text, those are another different control panel. When the A is activated, that's the character control panel. When this thing is activated, you have the paragraph control panel. So we have 3 control panels. Each of them have different tools for you to use. We are going to Wednesday. Wednesday we're going to still meet here, not in 114, okay? Because we only use 114 when we need to use the computers over there. So Wednesday we're going to still meet here, talk more about the workspace, and work on a simple project to let you guys to get to know how to use InDesign to do simple projects. We're also going to use some time to work on the Lamar Lecture 1, which is the history of graphical design. Any questions so far? No? Okay, and that's all for today. Thank you.